What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for Afcon Week 2 predictions, and the tournament has already got off to an insane start with some crazy moments. We had Zambia equalise in stoppage time against Mali. Burkina Faso up against 10 men, went 1-0 down with 5 minutes to go, and then in the 95th minute they equalised and scored a winner in the 98th minute. Merry Christmas as well to all of you watching, whether you celebrate it or not. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm currently recording this on Christmas Eve, where Burkina Faso just made that comeback, and currently Algeria are 1-0 up against Sudan. So that's all I know. I don't know the results of the Ivory Coast Mozambique game or the Cameroon Gabon game just yet. We're also 200 subscribers away from 50,000. So if you want to give me a little Christmas present this year, then please do subscribe down below, drop a like and hype the video while you're down there. It's been so fun this year, making much more content. Like this year, in terms of content, we've made way more. Last year, Premier League, Champions League, that was pretty much it. This year, Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga as well. We've started the live show and we are doing Afcon as well. So I really do appreciate all of the support. Let's try and get 50,000 subscribers before the end of the year, maybe on Christmas Day. That would be awesome. If we could get it today, that would be so cool. If you want to be in with a chance to win $100, click the link in the description to go and join the Patreon. You get exclusive access to the group chat, which went mental, by the way, when Burkina Faso made that comeback. You get the tips and accumulators. You get a shout out in every single video, like everyone flashing up on your screen. And of course, you will be entered in for a chance to win $100. I'll be announcing the winner of the $100 on New Year's Day, January 1st, 2026 in the Premier League predictions video. So this is basically your last chance to get involved. So click that top link in the description. But with that being said, let's get straight into the second game week of Afcon fixtures. As you can see by the group standings, there haven't really been many upsets. The only one really was Patson Daka's late goal for Zambia to equalise against Mali. But other than that, the teams that you'd kind of expect to win have been taking the win so far, which is kind of what I was getting at in the first game week. I didn't think there'd be really any upsets. It did take Egypt until stoppage time to score the winner, but eventually they did get over the line. We're kicking off here though with Angola up against Zimbabwe. Angola lost 2-1 to South Africa. We tipped both teams to score there, which I thought was really cool, and Zimbabwe did lose to Egypt. So I think we went Egypt in under 3.5 goals there. So 2 correct tips there. This is going to be a closer game, I think. It's sort of a must-win for both of these teams, really. And I'm just going to shade it to Angola, who I think are going to be able to get the win. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win. The tip is going to be Angola to win at odds of 1.8. After this, we travel to Agadir for the matchup of the group stage for this group. Group B, it's Egypt up against South Africa. South Africa got the 2-1 win. Egypt got the 2-1 win. Egypt, one of the favourites to win the whole competition. And I'm sorry, South Africa, I would love for you to win this game. I think it would be absolutely awesome. They're playing some brilliant football. But I'm just going to shade it to Egypt. I think they're the most successful Afcon team of all time. I'm just going to shade it to them 2-1. But in case South Africa do it and get the win, I'm not going to tip anything to do with Egypt to win in terms of the bet. I'm going to tip both teams to score at odds of 2.2. Egypt keep conceding. And if they can concede in their first game against Zimbabwe, then they can definitely concede against this South Africa side. So I'm going to say Egypt 2, South Africa 1, but the tip is both teams to score. After this, it is Zambia up against Comoros. Comoros lost to Morocco as expected, and Zambia, they got that point against Mali. I think Mali were the better side, but when you're only 1 goal down, you're always in the game. I think Zambia are just going to shade it. They'll take a lot from that point, and this is really, it's still a must win. I think they're going to do it. I'm going to go for a 1-0. The tip is under 2.5 goals at odds of 1.44, but there have been a fair few goals as far as Afcon's concerned. I mean, I tipped under 2.5 goals for Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea. It was 0-0 in the 85th minute, and Burkina Faso were up against 10 men. You think they'll probably snag a 1-0 win, something like that. Burkina Faso did have a goal disallowed, but then Equatorial Guinea score, which means if Burkina Faso want to beat the 10 men, they have to score twice. So they do. It's 2-1, and unders didn't come in. But I'm going to go under 2.5 goals at 1.44 here, because I think this would just be a low-scoring, cagey game. No team wanting to lose. Ultimately, I'm going for Zambia to take the win. After this, Morocco up against Mali. Mali, heartbreak at the end there with that equaliser, but I just don't think they'll have enough to beat Morocco here. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. Morocco did have a bit of a shaky start. They were, I think they missed a penalty, if I'm not mistaken. They were sort of under a lot of pressure to score that early goal, and it meant that they had to do it actually a little bit later on, but they got the win in the end. The tip here is going to be Morocco to win at 1.53. which is the same odds as Morocco win to nil in the last round. So I thought about Morocco win to nil for this fixture, but I just think the odds for Morocco to win are good enough at odds of 1.53. After this, we have Benin up against Botswana. Benin lost to the Democratic Republic of Congo 1-0, which was our correct score from the last round. Botswana lost 3-0 to Senegal. I had 2-0 to Senegal, so very, very close there. I do think Botswana are going to finish bottom of the group, and I think it continues here with a win for Benin. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win, and I really do like the odds of Benin to win at odds of 1.7. I think Botswana are going to finish bottom of Group D. Staying in that group, it is a top-of-the-table clash, I guess you could say, between Senegal and Congo. I've got to go with Senegal here. I think they're going to get the win. Congo, a decent side, but I do think Senegal are going to have a little bit too much for them. I'm going to say 2-0. Nicholas Jackson at the double for Senegal in their first round. And yeah, I think they're going to win this one as well. And the tip is Senegal to win because the odds are 1.66. I think that's really, really good. And I do think they should be able to beat this Congo side. Now, after this, it is Uganda up against Tanzania. Uganda losing out to Tunisia, scoring a consolation goal in stoppage time. Very frustrating because I had Tunisia win to nil and they were 3-0 down, and then the 92nd minute they scored a goal that meant nothing, maybe in terms of goal difference, but that's it. Similarly, Tanzania had Nigeria win to nil and they scored, but that, in fairness to Tanzania, was an equaliser, so it wasn't exactly consolation, but they both lost, they both scored. I think they're both going to score in this one. I think they'll have something to take from that first game, obviously being the goal they got. I'm going to go for Uganda to win 2-1, and I think the odds are fairly decent for this, and it keeps the draw on side as well. The tip is going to be Uganda draw no bet at odds of 1.72. Now, after this, we move on to Nigeria up against Tunisia. This is going to be a really interesting game. I could see it going either way. I could see it being a draw, but we all know I'm rooting for Nigeria in Afcon this year. Me, all my Nigerian viewers as well. Obviously, I know if you watch from other countries, the likes of South Africa, I know you're watching, you'll be rooting for them. Totally understand that. But we're going for Nigeria, hopefully. I'm going to say 2-1. And the tip, in case it is a 1-1 draw, is going to be Nigeria double chance and both teams to score. The odds are 2.7 for that, which is my highest odds tip of the day. And I think they can definitely snag something. But I could see Tunisia scoring, obviously 3-0 up against Uganda. Really great game, and I don't think they'll be too worried about the goal they conceded, and they are obviously currently top on goal difference. So yeah, I am just going to go 2-1 to Nigeria though. Nigeria double chance and both teams to score. After this, it's Gabon up against Mozambique. Now, this is somewhat of an unknown because they haven't played yet for me as far as I'm concerned. So Mozambique have to play Ivory Coast in the first round. I'd be very shocked if Mozambique walk away with anything other than a loss. So I'm going to go into this assuming Mozambique lost. Gabon, however, they could get something from Cameroon. Maybe even a win. Gabon and both teams to score. Odds of 8.5 against Cameroon. By the time you watch this video, that won't have played. By the time you watch this video, that game would have already happened. But I thought that was worth an outside shot. I think Cameroon should beat Gabon, but I could see it going either way. Could even be a draw. So Gabon, I don't know, but I'm going to assume they'll have a better time of it than Mozambique, who play Ivory Coast. And I'm just going to shade this one to Gabon. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. And the tip is Gabon to win at odds of 1.95. I think those odds are really, really good for a team that may or may not have lost to Cameroon. I don't know yet, but I mean, if they have lost, this is a must win. And I think they do have the talent to get over the line and get the win here. After this, it is Equatorial Guinea up against Sudan. Sudan currently 1-0 down. Maybe it's more by now, but I'll check. Let's check right now. It's currently 1-0 when I started the recording, but things may have changed. Unlikely to have changed. It's still 1-0 to Algeria. And Burkina Faso obviously got the comeback against Equatorial Guinea. So it's unfortunate for them. You're down to 10 men. You find an equaliser from a set piece, and then you just crumble. It's so unfortunate. So unlucky for Equatorial Guinea. I'm gonna side with them. I think they'll have a lot they can take from that Burkina Faso game. I'm gonna go for a 1-0 win. Dare I say it? I'm gonna tip under 2.5 goals at odds of 1.5. Obviously, the first game for Equatorial Guinea went over, but that was all stoppage time action for the vast majority of the game. It didn't look like there were going to be a lot of goals. Sudan, it's nearly half time against Algeria, and to their credit, they're only 1-0 down. Maybe you'd expect it to be a little bit more. They've actually got a higher XG than Algeria as it stands. So who knows? Maybe Sudan can actually come back. But I'm going to go for a 1-0, and the tip is under 2.5 goals. After this, it is Algeria up against Burkina Faso. Like I said, Algeria currently 1-0 up. Burkina Faso, how many times do I have to say it? An incredible result this Christmas Eve. I am just going to shade this one to Algeria. I mean, it's such a good result for Burkina Faso, but I'm just going to shade it to Algeria 2-1. The tip is both teams to score at odds of 1.9. Burkina Faso obviously have a lot of talent going forward. They scored twice in a few minutes, but Algeria should have enough to score as well. And if you're Burkina Faso and at 0-0 you concede a goal to Equatorial Guinea, you are definitely susceptible to conceding against Algeria. So I think both teams to score at 1.9. Pretty decent shout there. I think this could maybe go either way. I could see a Burkina Faso upset, but I'm going to shade it to Algeria. And finally, it's Ivory Coast up against Cameroon. Like I said, we don't know what's happened with either of these two teams. Maybe Cameroon get a result against Gabon. Maybe they throw it away and mess it up. Ivory Coast should definitely beat Mozambique, and I think they'll be able to beat Cameroon here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win, and I'm going to push the button on Ivory Coast to win at odds of 2.2, just because I think the odds are really good. I know Cameroon have a very good team, but Ivory Coast are, in my opinion, one of the best African sides, so I think Ivory Coast will be able to get the win here. So there's a summary of my picks. A lot more goals this time round, perhaps reflective of some of the goal mouth action we've seen in the first round of fixtures. Every team is capable of scoring. That much, I guess we could say. And that's why they're all here in this tournament. There are some really good teams, the likes of Ghana, that didn't even make it. So those are my predictions. I really cannot wait for the third round. And then the knockout stages. It's going to be so exciting. So make sure you leave your predictions down in the comments below. But yes, that is going to do it for my AFCON Week 2 predictions. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like, hype the video, subscribe, all of that stuff, as I said. Have a very Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.